Hi friends, myself K. Lakshmi, Assistant Professor in Chebrolu Engineering College. Today's topic Laser, Lecture 3. In the previous session, we discussed about the what is population inversion. That is, it is the necessary condition for obtaining lasing action, that means for production of lasers. Generally, the population in energy states is N1 greater than N2. That is, the number of atoms present in the lower energy level is more as compared with the higher energy level. But for production of laser, the necessary condition is population inversion. Then what is the population inversion? The number of atoms present in the higher energy level is more as compared with the lower energy. So simply the condition is N2 greater than N1. So here in this session we discuss about the different types of pumping methods and what is the 3-level pumping scheme and 4-level pumping schemes. So then what about the pumping? Pumping means it is the process of supplying suitable form of energy to achieve population inversion. So here the various pumping methods are, first one is optical pumping method, which is used in ruby laser. Electric discharge pumping method, which is used in helium neon laser. Inelastic atom collision, it is also used in the purpose of helium neon laser. And direct conversion method, it is used in semiconductor laser. Chemical pumping method, which is used in carbon dioxide laser. Let us discuss briefly about these various types of pumping methods. The first pumping method, optical pumping method. The word optic means here light. So simply optical pumping method is the external source is in the form of light. So by using light energy, the photons are excited. Photons are used excite the atoms to jump from lower energy level to higher energy level or higher energy level to lower energy level. That means whatever the transitions takes place. So here simply in optical pumping method, light energy is used for excitation of atoms. Generally for this optical pumping method, arc lamps, tungsten lamps are used, and in this process the output laser is in a continuous mode, whereas flash lamps are used. In that case the output laser is in a pulse mode. In generally optical pumping method is used in solid lasers and in liquid lasers. Whatever the light source emitting a broad range of wavelengths like flash pumps can be used to excite the atoms. And the next method is electric discharge method. In electrical pumping, a large electric field accelerates the electrons. That means by the electricity, the electrons are accelerated and these electrons collide with the atoms of the medium automatically the atoms are ionized and the excitation is produced. So this type of pumping is generally used in gas lasers, example helium neon laser and argon lasers, like that. So simply electric discharge pumping, electric field is an external source, that is the energy which is used in the purpose of to accelerate the electrons. And the next type of pumping is inelastic atom-atom collision. Here an indirect use of electric field is observed. That means in electric discharge, whatever we discussed in the previous pumping method, directly electric field is accelerate the electrons. That means they move the electrons with the help of electric field. But in this method, whatever the electrons accelerated and they are collision with another type of atoms, due to collision the other type of atoms are excited. So electric discharge pumping method lo electric field అనేది డైరెక్ట్గా ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ని యాక్సిలేట్ చేస్తుంది. యాక్సిలేట్ మీన్స్ దే మూవ్ ఫ్రమ్ వన్ పాయింట్ టు అనదర్ పాయింట్. సో ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసరికి ఈ యాక్సిలేట్ అయినటువంటి ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ ఇనలాస్టికల్ ఫామ్లో అదర్ ఆటమ్స్ని కొలిషన్ చేస్తాయి. అంటే బై ఇనలాస్టిక్ కొలిషన్ బిట్వీన్ ఆటమ్ టు ఆటమ్. That means here the energy is transferred due to collision. సో ఇక్కడ కొలిషన్ అనేది ఒక ఆటమ్ నుంచి ఇంకో ఆటమ్కి జరగడం వల్ల ఈ ఆటము ఆ ఎనర్జీని యూజ్ చేసుకొని ఎగ్జైటేషన్స్కి గురవుతుంది. దట్ మీన్స్ there is a transition from lower energy level to higher energy level or higher energy level to lower energy level. So generally the second type of atoms అంటే ఏవైతే ఫస్ట్ ఆటమ్స్ అదర్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఆటమ్స్ని కొలిషన్ చేస్తాయో ఆ అదర్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఆటమ్స్ అనేవి, దట్ మీన్స్ ద సెకండ్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఆటమ్స్ అనేవి పాపులేషన్ ఇన్వర్షన్ అనేటువంటి రియాక్షన్లో ఇన్వాల్వ్ అవుతాయి. అండ్ దే ఆర్ మెయిన్ యాక్టివ్ రోల్ ప్లే ఫర్ ద లేజింగ్ యాక్షన్. నౌ ద నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్, direct conversion. In some semiconductors, lasing action is produced by the conversion of electrical energy into light energy. The best example is LEDs. In LEDs, light emitting diode. So here, with the help of semiconductors, a lasing action is produced by conversion of electric energy into electric energy, in which by the recombination of electrons and holes, by the combination of electrons and holes. So this type of direct conversion pumping method is generally used in semiconductor lasers. And the final chemical pumping method. So the name itself, chemical, is chemical reaction. So the chemical reaction transforms the electrical energy. So in chemical pumping method, the excitation energy comes from chemical reaction without any need for the other sources. This type of pumping method is generally used in case of carbon dioxide laser. Now the next topic is levels of pumping schemes. Generally in our syllabus we have two types of lasers only. Generally there are 5 types of lasers are there. That is solid laser, liquid laser, gas laser, dye laser, semiconductor laser. Out of these 5 types of lasers in our syllabus, there is only 2 types of laser according to J into K. The 2 types of lasers are ruby laser and helium neon laser. Depending upon these lasers, we have to study the pumping schemes. Generally, in these 2 types of lasers, there are 3 level pumping scheme is for ruby laser and 4 levels scheme is for helium neon laser. So before we discussing about the types of lasers, we have to know the idea about what are the levels of pumping schemes, that is in 3 level and 4 level. So let us discuss about the levels of pumping schemes. For population inversion, the 2 energy level system is not suitable. Hence, we have to consider multiple systems for lasing action. So, generally, already we discussed that in a ruby laser, it is a 3 level pumping scheme, that is solid type of laser. In helium neon laser, that is gas type of laser, we use commonly 4 level system. Let us discuss briefly about one by one. The first one is a 3 level pumping scheme. Now, 3 level pumping scheme. Let us consider an atomic system having 3 energy states, and the 3 energy states are E1, E2, E3 respectively. As we already discussed that E1 is a ground state and E2 and E3 are the excited states. Now, these are the 3 levels. So, here the first one is E1, that is ground state, and the second one is E2 and the third one is E3 here. So, using pumping mechanism, generally 3 level pumping scheme, the pumping method is optical pumping method. In that optical pumping method, we have to use xenon flash lamp. So, the light which is coming from xenon flash lamp is used as a light source which is used for the pumping. So, here with the help of these flash lamp, that means whatever the light emitted by this flash lamp is used for to raise the atoms from lower energy level to, that is ground state energy level to E3 state, that is pump band. Now, and the next, the atom in the energy level E3 after its lifetime is very small, then spontaneously makes a transition to the energy level E2 and without radiating any photon. Such a transitions is known as the non-radiating transition. So, that means, so here it is E1, it is E2 and E3. So, in the case of excited state E3 level, whatever the atoms are, they can easily jump to E2 energy level. Because of that, their lifetime is very small. So, due to this emission, there is a photon of energy is released, that is h nu, but whereas it is a non-radiative transition, that means here the light is ordinary light. Okay, why? Because here this is a spontaneous emission case. Already we discussed in the types of how the radiations are interact with the matter, that is in 3 cases: absorption, spontaneous emission and stimulated emission. And we also discussed in the last class distinguish between spontaneous emission and to the stimulated emission. In spontaneous emission case, whatever the photons emitted or simply they are belonging to ordinary light, they are non-radiative transitions because they are spontaneously jumped from exit state, that is E3 level to E2 level. And the next, the energy lost by atoms is observed by the lattice. Now E2 is the metastable state. Here the more lifetime as compared with E3. So the atoms are stay a longer time in that state. So now within intense pumping from E1 to E3 because of rapid decay to E2, it is possible to get more population at E2 than E1, and laser transition takes place between E2 and E1. That means here this is the metastable state. Already we discussed that here the atoms are jumped spontaneously. Now here in this level the atom's lifetime is more as compared with the E3 energy level. That means they stay more time at E2 energy level. By giving a 1 photon of energy, then only they jumped from E2 energy level to E1 by emitting 2 photons of energy. That means for every 1 photon of energy, they emits 2 photon of energy. Here this photon of energy is nothing but it is a radiative transition. Simply this is the laser light. That means already we discussed in the laser abbreviation light amplification stimulated emission process. So whatever the light emitted in stimulation process is nothing but laser light. So here the transition takes place between E2 to E1 is a radiative transition. That means for 1 photon of energy they emits 2 photons of energy. So simply the transition takes place from E2 to E1 is nothing but radiative transition, and which is a laser light. Here there is a requirement to pump the more than one of the ground state atoms must be pumped to the upper state to achieve the population inversion. Therefore, in 3 level pumping scheme, generally it requires very high pump powers. If we pumping continuously, then whatever the condition, that means the number of atoms present in E2 energy level is more as compared with E1. So automatically it reaches to stimulated emission rate. So here a stimulated emission process is done. So immediately the atoms are jumped from upper level to lower level. Such a system works in a pulse mode only. Because of that, here we use a xenon flash bulb. So that means here we giving light energy in a flash bulb. So that's why the whatever the output coming in 3 level scheme is in a pulsed mode only. So for 3 level pumping scheme, Ruby laser is the best example for 3 level pumping scheme. Now the next is a 4 level pumping scheme. Right, here this is the schematic representation of a 4 level pumping scheme. So this is E1 and E2 and E3 and this is the E4. So here E1 is a ground level, and whatever the pumping from E1 to E4 like that. Here the E3 is called metastable state. Here it is E3 is called metastable state, and E2 is another level. Now what is the pumping level system is working? Let us discuss about that. The atoms from the ground state E1 are pumped into upper level directly from E4 by some pumping mechanism, whereas at energy level E4 the atom's lifetime is very small. Due to that, they easily, that means they spontaneously jumped from E4 to E3 level. So already we discussed that due to spontaneous emission there is a non-radiative transition is takes place. That means normal light is emitted in this transition takes from E4 to E3 case. So here the transition rate of atoms from E4 and E3 is much faster as compared to the transition rate of atoms from E3 to E2. That means whatever the lifetime atoms at an energy level E3 is more, so that is E3 state is called metastable state. So here the more number of atoms are accumulated in this state. So this level E3 is inverted with respect to E2. That means here the population inversion case is existed. So the laser action takes place between E3 and E2 by stimulated emission process, and the atoms from energy state E2 get de-excited to E1. By the continuous pumping process, the atoms from E1 are again pumped to E4 and again jumped from spontaneous emission due to spontaneous emission process from E4 to E3. Again there is a E3 is act as a metastable state. Hence there is a population inversion is existed between E3 and E2 energy states. So here it is a stimulated emission process, then automatically it is a radiative transition. So here the laser light is emitted. So and automatically the transition between E2 and E1 is relatively slow. So even 4 level lasers will work in a pulse mode only. So here I will discuss with the diagram with the help of diagram also. So here it is E1, it is E2, it is E3, and it is E4. So the atoms in the ground state are initially excited to the E4 energy level like that, and due to spontaneous emission they jump to E3 energy level like that. So simply here clear the atoms. So it has only one atom like that. So whatever the transition takes place from E4 to E3, so here it is a spontaneous emission, then easily atoms are like that. So due to this transition here a photon of energy is emitted, but it is a non-radiative transition. So here at E3 level more number of atoms are there as compared with E2 level. So automatically it is a population inversion case existed, that is N3 is greater than N2. So this is the condition for obtaining a population inversion. Then automatically here by giving a 1 photon of energy, the atoms in the E3 energy level are jumped to E2 energy level by emitting 2 photons of energy. So simply it is a radiative transition. That means here the output is a laser. So this is the a 4 level pumping scheme. Okay. So generally this 4 level pumping scheme is used in a helium neon laser gas type. It is a and it is also used in N2 laser also. It is also in a pulse mode operation. Then what are the advantages as compared with that means over 3 level scheme is It requires low power pumping for acquiring the population inversion, and this is there is an efficient pumping into pump band. There is a fast decay into upper lasing level. There is a fast depopulation of lower lasing level, and there is no thermal population of lower lasing level, and it has a high efficiency. In a 3-level laser pumping, there are some drawbacks also. That is the lower laser level is ground state. To achieve the population inversion, we have to transfer more than half of the atoms to level 2. For that, very high pumping is required. As lasing starts, a population in the ground state is increases. As a result, it is possible that the photons emitted by the stimulated emissions are reabsorbed. So these are the some drawbacks in 3 energy level. So that's why 4 energy level is better as compared with 3 energy level. So these are the topics today we discussion. That is what is the pumping methods, that is optical pumping method, electric discharge pumping method, inelastic atom collision method, direct conversion method, and chemical pumping method. And also we discuss about the what are the level of pumping schemes. Levels of pumping schemes, that is 3-level pumping scheme. In 3-level pumping scheme, there are 3 energy levels, E1 and E2 and E3. Here E1 is the excited state, and E3 is the excited state, and E1 is the ground state. And here the E2 is act as a metastable state. But still, in a 3-level pumping scheme, there are some drawbacks. Generally, this 3-level pumping scheme is commonly used in a solid type of laser. And next, we also discuss about the 4-level pumping scheme. In 4-level pumping scheme, there are 4 energy levels: E1, E2, E3, and E4. Here, E4 is act as a excited state, and E3 is act as a metastable state. That means a radiative transition takes place between E3 and E2 energy levels. That is, laser output is obtained from E3 between E3 and E2 energy levels. So, and also we discuss about the what are the advantages as compared with the 3-level scheme also. So it requires low power pumping for acquiring the population inversion, and there is an efficient pumping into pump band, and it is a fast decay, and it is more efficient as compared with the 3-level. Generally, 4 energy level scheme is used in case of helium neon laser, and this type of pumping scheme, the output is in a continuous mode, and whatever the output in this case is turned to certain available wavelength also. But still it has also some drawbacks. A very low power, that is in milliwatts, while in a ruby laser whatever the power output is about 10,000 watts. That means this type of pumping scheme is generally used in case of whatever the laser light used in a low power cases. So for high power lasers, we have to take the 3-level pumping scheme. So in the next session, we discuss about the types of lasers, that is ruby laser, or it is also named as solid type of laser, and also helium neon laser, that is gas laser. So in the next section, we discussed the types of lasers. Now, thank you to all.